Whether it is you want to just get a little bit leaner, or whether you want to just start losing weight and you want to make a change in your life today, I'm here to tell you, you can do it right fucking now. From the moment you stop watching this video, you can change your life for the better, and it's easy. And I'm pretty sure no doctor ever told you this shit. What would be an easy subject to pick that couldn't cause any possible conflict or triggering or anything? So, you're fat. Okay, don't kill me off the bat. If you stick with me through this video, I promise you now, by the end of it, you might like me at least a little bit. I have notes, because I understand that this is a subject where a lot of people have a lot of tension. I'm going to deal with solid facts. Facts that you may well not like to hear, but whenever we're doing anything for change, there's always going to be something about ourselves we don't like to hear, and it doesn't matter what the subject matter is. With that said, I have notes. So let's get started. Environmental factors, genetics, your childhood and everything like that does play a massive part in your future. It's always going to. That's just nature. I was lucky that I was an active child just by being me. Some people are not like that. Some people aren't naturally sporty, and that's fine. I myself have the attention span of a Cocker Spaniel. We all have our good and bad points. Obviously, our environment is a massive factor, and I got lucky in the fact that my mother cooked whole meals, made us eat things that we didn't want to eat, and so I had a relatively balanced nutritional side of life as a child. So with that said, the way I look now is not luck. And this is where we become the same. Because what is achieved by the human body is achievable by any human body. It's a simple fact that all we need is the realization that to create change, we're going to have to put effort into something for a long period of time, and it isn't going to be easy. But it is always possible. It's not going to be possible in just a matter of weeks. It's going to take commitment, and that is like life in general. We can all agree on that. Yes? This is where we all become the same. All of us. No exceptions. And in understanding that in life we're all the same, biologically we also function the same. And that is where you and I match. We're the same. We just are in different parts of our timeline. But essentially we're all on the same path, and we all have to adhere to the same biological rules. Nobody can escape it. Nobody is immune from change. Nobody. Okay, so let's start by breaking down the bullshit. The bullshit that you are shown on a daily basis that has been probably compounded over time to poison the way in which you think about yourself, about people around you, and about the options that are available to you. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. This video is not focused on somebody who is just overweight. This is targeted towards anybody that is unhappy in the way their body looks. But I do want to focus on the issue of being overweight or being unhealthy, because I feel that it's a bastardized subject, and a subject which has been twisted and manipulated by government officials, advertising, marketing campaigns, to a point where you don't even know where to look anymore, and you probably feel pretty lost. And by the end of this, I want you to feel in control, empowered, and understand that there is 100% a way to get you on track to where you want to be, the body type, the lifestyle, the health, the ability that you want to achieve. Let's start with one of the biggest things that I think has affected people, and that is the government and the medical profession saying that being crazily overweight or morbidly obese, as they describe it, as being a disease. This is the number one stupidest thing that we as humans have ever done. Let's break this shit down. This is where you're going to hear something you probably don't want to hear. But if you're an overweight person and you're accepting the fact that being overweight, being the fact that you chose to eat calories in surplus for an extended period of time is a disease, then I challenge you to walk into a cancer ward and announce that to the people suffering in that environment. It is not a disease. In no stretch of the imagination. It is not. It is a disorder. and a disorder is controllable by the individual. And we're going to deal with that throughout the entirety of this video, but that is one of the biggest errors in judgment because it creates escapism. It's an escape clause. It's not my fault. It's a disease. No control. I have no control. That's what it has done, is by allowing people to think that, it has rid them of control in their own life. It has stolen it from them because you rely on your government, on your medical practitioners to give you truthful information, and that is not a truth. What it has done is stolen the control from you. It's made you feel like the thing that is wrong that you want to change is now not in your control, in your hands, and it is. Number 2 is media advertising about weight loss. Magic pills, magic answers, everything but the thing that you need to know, and that is the fact that it all comes down to your diet and your lifestyle. And I don't mean diets like the media has portrayed, and this is what I'm talking about. They make you believe that something is achievable, a 6-week or 30-day transformation. It's nonsense. Nothing like that is long-term. And to create change, to take someone and fix a disorder, it's going to take a lot longer than a 6-week crazy ass, horrible, horrendous program that even somebody who is used to the kind of extreme lifestyle of getting crazy lean would struggle to deal with. Never mind somebody who's coming to terms with the fact they're going to have to turn their life 180 and change a lot of bad habits. It's a very, very negative way to try and introduce yourself into a better lifestyle by being extreme. It's not going to work. You're going to fall off and you're going to go back to the bad habits. And I wouldn't blame you, because those diets are horrific. What you need to understand is there is no magic pill. There is no magic diet. It is a complete change of lifestyle, plus building a foundation of knowledge about the food and the things around you. Like calling things reduced fat when they're still horrendous for you. It's clever advertising to make people buy into thinking they're getting something healthier than they are. What these do is they perpetuate these disorders because they confuse people further. But by getting the knowledge about food and what nutritional information is telling us on things, that's when you regain the control. We as a society, let's not bullshit. We have become lazy. We're sedentary, we sit around, we watch computer screens, kids are playing computer games rather than going outside, and it is an issue. It affects our activity levels, and that in turn is going to affect how we react to what we put in our diet. What this all boils down to is we have to take responsibility for our own actions, and by doing that, we can then create change. But you have to accept that you are at fault for something, that you need to change something, and that it is going to take time and commitment. And no matter where you are in life, all of those rules still apply in exactly the same way to every single person. Number 3 on my list of things to start being aware of, the survival of group mentality. There is the old saying, misery loves company, and it's very, very true. It's very, very easy to sit around with a group of people and complain about what's going wrong. But when that mentality is given a platform to the masses, then we have a problem. Because having someone perpetuate an issue that can be easily changed just with knowledge, time, and consistency, what we're doing is creating a trap for all those individuals. So when I see someone going on TV who is clearly heavily overweight or has an addiction to something or is severely undereating because they suffer from body dysmorphia and things like that, if any of those individuals are given a platform to say that it's just the way they are and we should accept it, then we have a real problem. And that is what's happened with the epidemic of obesity and people being overweight. We've become such a nanny nation, in fact we don't want to offend anybody with anything, that doctors can no longer tell people when they're going in, when they're put on a program to monitor their food so the doctor can see it, and they're coming in and clearly not listing what they're eating, because biologically, like I said before, we all adhere to the same rules. There are no exceptions. There are no excuses that you can make that will detract from the fact that if you tell somebody you're eating 1,200 calories a day and you're 10 stone overweight, it's an absolute biological impossibility. And rather than the doctor dealing with that, sitting down with the person and saying, look, Why are you lying to me? Let's break this down and find out why you think you need to hide this rather than help me help you attack this in a positive way. So not only is the individual suffering being told that they can avoid it, the person who should be stopping them avoiding it and owning up to these issues is also avoiding the situation. So where have they got to go? It all comes down to us being unhappy with something, and we're given an escape to take that blame away from us and say, oh, it's not our fault, there's something, it's not me, there's something else, it's to do with that, it's not to do with me. The moment we're given that option, and we're given that option as a group, then we create escapism. Escapism away from dealing with the issue. Excuses, denial, escape. These are all things that we need to face the fuck up to and get over them. We just have to fucking own up to things, especially when it's something to do with the biology of the body where all rules are the same. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. You have the control. Don't let anybody tell you that you do not. And the fact that somebody may want to get a little bit leaner because they're already in shape is absolutely no different on a biological scale to somebody who is overweight and wants to lose weight. The same rules will have to be implemented for each of these individuals. They're exactly the same. One person is just further down that timeline than the other, but you are on the same exact line. Number 4 of things that I think need discussing is caring about what other people think of you. We all do this. So you are absolutely warranted in feeling that you want to give a shit about how others see you. But if you ever feel that you need to hide something because you feel uncomfortable about it, then that is an issue that you should really address rather than continue to hide. And then we have people on TV sitting around saying, I'm big and I'm curvy and I'm happy, when they're clearly not, because whenever they're given hard to answer questions, they avoid them and detract and say that somebody's attacking them. And I'm also here to tell you that it's probably a lot worse in your head than it is in reality. No matter how good you look in the world, there's always going to be some dick that wants to try and say something negative to make themselves feel better. But that is usually just them putting their own discomfort out onto other people to make themselves feel better about what they don't like in them. You're just an outlet. You're not really their target focus. Somebody who is in really good shape still gets shamed in the same way as somebody who is overweight. People who are overweight feel that they may get shamed by people who aren't overweight. And then the people who aren't overweight will see somebody who's in really good shape, yet they're training and not as in good shape as that person. So that individual will now try to hate on that one to make themselves feel better about the fact that they're not quite there yet. You see, it's the exact same thing. We're just tracking it further down each timeline. And this is what I'm trying to tell you, that all these issues, no matter how different they may seem, are actually very, very similar. You can find that the same problem can be manifested in many different avenues, but essentially the foundation of the problem is exactly the same. They all fall into the same pattern and they all fall into the same mentality. A mentality we can change. How the hell do we get over them? It's simple. We get over it with learning about the body and learning what we need to do to create change. Accepting the fact that we have an issue that we want to deal with is step number 1. Step number 2 is finding the solutions to the issue. And what I'm here to tell you is they're pretty similar from either end of the spectrum. Whether it is you want to just get a little bit leaner or whether you want to just start losing weight and you want to make a change in your life today, I'm here to tell you, you can do it right fucking now. From the moment you stop watching this video, you can change your life for the better, and it's easy. What will take a lot of work is your own willpower, your own self-drive, and nobody can teach you this. You have to bring this forth yourself. You have to take the steps. You have to want to make that change. But the moment you do, the answers are there. This is where I'm just trying to compile decades of information into like a few minutes, and it's difficult. The main one being, you need to balance your food in terms of calorie intake versus calorie outtake. That is the bare minimum you need to start with, but you need to be honest. You're going to need to accept that you're not going to be able to eat exactly what you want, when you want, or how much you want. You're going to have to break bad habits. You're going to have tough days. But what I'm also here to tell you is, We all still have those days. It's not just you because you're in a situation that you've been in and don't want to be in any longer. It's just general human nature. We all have ups, we all have downs. But if you have more good days than bad days to start with, you will still keep moving towards your goal. And I promise you, it gets easier over time. One avenue you guys can go straight towards is online calculators. Go straight to Google and search calorie calculators. You will be given an abundance of choice to simply just get your calories in line. Calories are the simplest form of monitoring your food. They are basically the energy that is within the food. And as long as you can bring your calories down to a level where you are expending more than you're taking in, you will begin to lose weight. Even if you mess up the calories, if they're still less than the amount of calories you were in surplus before, you'll begin to lose weight regardless, and at least you'll begin to get on track. To understand that just having a slip up here or there because you missed something or didn't have something to hand, it's not going to derail your whole day. So you can get rid of that mentality of, well, I've messed that up now, whole day's gone to crap, I just do what I want. Don't do that anymore. And over time, it will become easier. These habits will become ingrained. The good habits will replace the bad habits. Overall, it's just a matter of being as consistent as you possibly can be and maintaining your structure. And like I said, this applies to both people. It applies to somebody who is in relatively good shape at the moment but wants to get better and has just found a sticking point. And it applies to people who are overweight, heavily overweight, or even obese. It's all the same thing. It's just a matter of finding the errors and correcting them. Once you have done that, you can then move forward onto what is known as macros. The earlier you can educate yourself on macros, 1000% better. Macros are the macronutrients that make up our food, and they are what are responsible for our body composition. Your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. These three things make up our food and they are responsible for our body composition. The moment that you can start tracking these, the better and the faster your results will come. The simplest way to start doing this is to take the calories that you're currently using or have become comfortable with that have helped you lose weight, and then to break them down in a percentage of 40% protein, 40% carbohydrate, and 20% fat. Or 40% protein, 30% carbohydrate, and 30% fat. A little bit of trial and error will help you determine which one you prefer more than the other. Personally, I like the 40-40-20 split as something to do as a basic thing. And then obviously further down the line, you can get a little bit more in depth. But what you need to know is by simply doing the calories first, you will lose weight. And then by progressing into the macro breakdown, you will then be able to change your body composition and manipulate more than you ever thought possible. And I'm pretty sure no doctor ever told you this shit. Now, the topic of diets is a huge subject, and it's obviously something I can't fit into this video. This was more about the mentality and the fact that I want you guys to feel like the control that has been taken away by bullshit advertising, media, escape clauses, and just a general issue we have in society of pulling ourselves up on being wrong about something. I just want you to feel and know that that control that you think you don't have or you thought was lost is still there. You just have to take it back and start ignoring the bullshit. If you want to learn more about the diets, check back through my playlist, check back through my videos. It seems that people on YouTube at the moment are very much in the moment and are forgetting that there's probably hundreds of videos that somebody's already made regarding these subjects, and they're there for you to view. It just takes time for you to sit down, sit through them, and take notes. That's all you got to do. There's full days of eating on this channel. There is diet discussion, supplement discussion, and it's all here for you. But not only that, this is an interactive environment. If you have a question that has been haunting you for months, years, even or just days, put it below in the comment section. All of my crew on this channel are helpful. If you look through my channel in the comment section, you will see people helping other people, and that is what it is about. Together we can grow more than being a group of negative people trying to pull others down. The strength in numbers applies both ways, but when you create strength with positivity, you will have a never-ending supply of support and motivation. I hope what I've put across in this video has sat well with you. I hope you've made it this far. If you've made it this far, well done. And if you have anything to say, please put it in the comments below. I will be reading the comments. I will be answering. I don't know what more we can really do other than start to accept the fact that we own our own lives, that we need to take stock of where we're at, where we want to be, and the goals we want to set. We need to stop lying to ourselves. We need to stop lying to others. And that is down to you. Nobody can do that for you. At the end of the day, it does not matter what is going on in other people's lives around you. It doesn't matter how someone else reacts to something. It doesn't matter how good someone else looks or how much better, because the reality of it is what they do doesn't affect your body. How they react to something doesn't affect your body. How lucky they are to be a certain way doesn't affect your body. You do by what you put into it, what you know about what you're putting into it, and the time you spend staying consistent at moving forward towards your goals. That's the reality. It sucks if you don't want to hear it, but the moment you just take it on board, deal with it, you will not only gain back control, but you will once again be free. That's all for now. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and let me know any other subjects you want me to cover, and I will do my utmost. As always, I'm here to help, and I hope to see you on the next one. Lex, out.